John Gotti was one of organized crime's fiercest members. He wanted to rule New York City.
Prepare yourself to embark on a journey. We have something truly intriguing for you as we delve into the shocking origins of organized crime. Brace yourselves, because we are about to uncover the hidden world of mafia, gangs, and cartels.
They called John Gotti the Teflon Don. Serious charges, just wouldn't stick.
Number 1. John Gotti, a.k.a. the Teflon Don. In the seedy underbelly of New York City, the Gambino crime family emerged as a dominant force within the Italian mafia. Led by charismatic bosses, they wielded power through fear, violence, and a web of criminal enterprises. Among these bosses, one man stood out. John Gotti, born and raised in the tough streets of the Bronx, possessed an uncanny ability to command loyalty and instill fear. His rise within the Gambino family was swift and ruthless. John Gotti earned the epithet the Teflon Don due to his remarkable ability to elude conviction in a string of high-profile trials. It seemed as though the law simply couldn't stick to him. Gotti's slick demeanor and shrewd tactics allowed him to navigate the legal system with remarkable agility. Even when faced with overwhelming evidence, witnesses would mysteriously recant or go silent, leaving prosecutors frustrated and the public fascinated by his invincibility. John Gotti's audacity and willingness to resort to violence reached a pinnacle with one of the most infamous crimes associated with the Gambino crime family, the assassination of Paul Castellano. The events that unfolded that fateful day in front of a New York City restaurant sent shockwaves through the criminal underworld and captivated the public's imagination. Paul Castellano, the boss of the Gambino family at the time, was a powerful and influential figure within the mafia hierarchy. But Gotti saw an opportunity to seize control and orchestrated a plan that would forever change the course of the family's history. On December 16, 1985, Castellano and his trusted associate, Thomas Bilotti, arrived at Sparks Steakhouse in Manhattan for a supposed meeting with fellow gangsters. Unbeknownst to them, their lives were about to be brutally cut short. Gotti, aware of Castellano's whereabouts, had set the stage for the ambush. As Castellano's car pulled up outside the restaurant, hitmen lay in wait, armed with firearms and a mission to eliminate their targets. In a hail of gunfire, the hitmen unleashed their fury, spraying bullets into the vehicle, shattering the peace of the evening. Castellano and Bilotti were ruthlessly gunned down, their bodies slumped lifelessly in the car, a symbol of Gotti's ascension to power. The audacity of the assassination sent shockwaves through the criminal underworld. The murder of a high-ranking mafia boss in such a public setting was unprecedented, solidifying Gotti's reputation as a fearless and brazen leader within the Gambino family. The aftermath of the assassination plunged the Gambino family into chaos. Gotti swiftly maneuvered to consolidate his power, eliminating potential rivals and ensuring his control over the family. Very quickly, before we move on to the next craziest criminal, subscribe. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later. Number 2. The Russian Mafia, the Bratva. In the chaotic aftermath of the Soviet Union's collapse, criminal organizations vied for power, but none were as notorious as the Bratva. Originating in the 1980s, this Russian mafia syndicate quickly rose to dominance, capitalizing on the country's lawlessness and corruption. To understand the Bratva, one must grasp its intricate structure. At the top of this criminal empire is the Vor v Zakone, or thief in law, the supreme authority. Beneath them are the Pakhan, the leaders of various factions, each controlling their own territories and criminal activities. The Bratva's criminal empire thrived through a web of money laundering operations that spanned continents. One notorious case that captivated the world was the infamous Russian laundromat. The Russian laundromat was a colossal scheme orchestrated by the Bratva to wash billions of dollars in illicit funds. Through a network of over 21 shell companies and corrupt financial institutions, they executed a complex web of transactions that spanned multiple countries. In this massive money laundering operation, funds were initially siphoned from Russia through a series of bogus loans. These funds were then routed through an intricate network of accounts, companies, and offshore banks, obscuring their origin and making it nearly impossible to trace the illicit proceeds. The scale of the Russian laundromat was staggering. Over a period of 4 years, more than $20 billion flowed through the system, traversing continents and leaving a trail of confusion for authorities attempting to unravel the intricate money laundering scheme. One of the most dangerous people who did business with the Bratva is Victor Bout, a notorious figure known as the Merchant of Death.
When arrested, he oversaw operations capable of delivering enough weapons to launch rebellions, fuel revolutions, and slaughter untold thousands of people.
His alliance with the Solntsevskaya Bratva cemented his position as one of the most prolific arms dealers in history. Victor Bout's empire spanned continents, and his vast arsenal included an array of deadly weapons, from assault rifles and ammunition to surface-to-air missiles. His connections within the Bratva provided him with access to a lucrative market of buyers seeking to acquire firepower for their illicit purposes. The turning point came in 2008 when Victor Bout was apprehended in a sting operation orchestrated by international law enforcement agencies. Dubbed Operation Relentless, it marked a significant victory in the fight against arms trafficking and brought the Merchant of Death to justice.